Hello everybody and welcome back to Subnautica Below Zero, No Vehicles Part 2. So the audio for the video is actually not corrupted for once, but it sounds terrible, so I'm gonna be voicing over the video. So I decided, instead of recording a video and editing it, I would record the rest of the game, edit 10 hours of footage into a 20-minute video. I think I can get away with making a 20-minute video if it's gonna be the rest of the game, seeing that the previous video was part 1. Anyways, enough talking, and let's begin. So I start by heading to the deep twisty bridges to look for the one and only Alan. On the way I found a couple table coral samples, some very much useless sea truck fragments, and a bunch of outcrops. Eventually I come across the alien Morse code distress call and this wrecked base. Then I unlock the high capacity oxygen tank, as well as the builder tool and some 20-ounce water bottles. Then I proceed to almost end the playthrough. Then I came across another wreck, which had a data box that contained a blueprint for the rebreather, a very useful tool. A bit later I managed to find Alan's cave. Then I scanned his dog. I made my way through the maze all the way to the alien powerhouse, then yoinked 3 terrible looking vases at the entrance. Alan really has a terrible taste when it comes to decor. I then get absolutely bamboozled by Alan's smooth subject changing and become the test subject for his Death Ray 9008er, which works. And he breaks into my head.
You are in my head? I offered you my PDA. Get out!
I made my way back home and I receive a call from Mr. Sewer, aka Subject Changer, telling me to calm down and he has brain damage. I then prepare my lunch by getting some fresh spinach and bean sprouts, and making the rebreather and accidentally making an air pump, which totally looks like I made it on purpose. While exploring the spinach caves, I found an old newspaper saying contact was lost with the 1-kilometer Aurora. Can you believe it? The Aurora is 1 kilometer long! After some 30 minutes of procrastination, I finally completed my Finding Gold assignment. Then I found a shark cage that had the mineral detector, and that's it. But that's not all, because I did go to the island, which had a coffee machine that I would probably never use. While walking to the peak of the island, I got a voicemail from a number I should probably block, saying I'm trespassing, which I wasn't. This is no man's land. Then I got cut off by Optimus Prime wannabe, who gave me a talk about Altera bad, then left with that and an explanation. Anyways, I went up the island and borrowed this abandoned base for a little bit. Then Alan said the Optimus Prime wannabe is bad because she ghosted him. In the base, I unlocked a modification station and a disc toy. Then I decided it was probably time I make a base of my own. Then Alan remembers he left a water filter somewhere, and when I find it, he decides to become a philosopher. I went back home and made the modification station, and proceeded to find the most effective workout. After my workout, I built a long pipe chain to what I thought were the cherry blossom caves, which turned out to be squid shark water. After looting for a while and almost dying, I went back to my base, organized my stuff, and made a thermal blade because you always need one. I couldn't get enough of the squid sharks, so I went to live right next door. But while planning out the location, I almost got my soul sucked out of me by a Venus swim trap. I built the base and a bioreactor and quickly swam to find something to fuel it. I eventually found fish to fuel the bioreactor, but was chased down by a squid shark all the way to my base. I finished construction of the base essentials, then went out to get some more specimens for my bioreactor. I then went to the surface and back to my original base. While out resource hunting, I accidentally stumbled upon Outpost Zero. Then Alan finally confesses that he did in fact ghost Lillian because she had ambitions. I got the necessary resources to build a base at the Glacial Basin, or in other words, the Big Island. I made it there and almost froze to death. After constructing the base, I continued to explore the part of the island which didn't require the Pepsi can to cross. After not even getting out of the first cave, I decided that was enough. So I built an observatory and sat there to relax. I found an alien artifact and Alan remembers that he forgot his skeleton in his 600-meter deep garden. After returning home, Alan says humans are cringe. I built an outdoor grow bed to farm gel sacks on top of my base because I don't have time to get them elsewhere. And with my 400 IQ, I thought I probably wouldn't survive the voyage to Alan's garden, so why not build another base? I went down to the cherry blossom caves, thought I was clutching it, but I had more than enough oxygen to go back to the surface. I then thought back to when Alan told me to make his storage medium.
Why do you keep saying we?
Because he's probably begging me to do so from the scarring things he saw inside my head. So I went to scan his magnificent garden before scanning the skeletal remains of a fallen architect.
It is not often that I gaze upon the form of a fallen architect.
While en route back to the base, I got lost and almost drowned, then air bladdered up to the surface because being 600 meters underwater is not how I want to end. While leaving, I took a look at a mega lab, then decided it was time. I went to copper mining site just to get it out of the way, and also to scan artifact Q59. I also unlocked the nuclear reactor and finally scanned the statue of restriction, which unlocked the recyclotron and the sea truck teleportation stuff, but we don't talk about that here. After long, the Pepsi can was acquired, so it was time to face the beast. That is the glacial base. Well, no, the beast is actually the Arctic spires, but it's cool for the scene, you know. And unlock the architect tissues because regular tissues aren't gonna cut it. I first went to Fire Robotics Center to scan the alien portal behind it, then it was time to face the beast. That is the mysterious, the uncharted, the no man's land, the Arctic spires. But before that, I went to the alien artifact on the side of the island. Soon after reaching it, Alan starts hallucinating.
The image is hazy, but I am sure it is correct.
And then Alan asks if humans have brain damage too.
How do humans cope with the loss of memories?
To which I respond with this unnecessarily long answer, which can be shortened to just, no, it's just you. So long, sewer, I'm going to the Arctic spires. As a result of this very dangerous journey made by Alan the Treacherous, I finally arrive. All of this hard work for some alien meat? I heard it was good. While headed home, I don't get any fever peppers because I'm too hot for the cold. I froze to death. But hey, Alt F4 was always an option. I abandoned the old ways by cheating my way back to the emerald mines. This time, I took some fevered peppers with me, which caused me to not die and make it to the base unharmed. I'm once again asking for your materials for yet another base. This time, I'm making a nuclear reactor, since I'm gonna be frequently visiting this base in the foreseeable future. I also realized that I've unlocked ion batteries, so why not make some for my Seaglide and scanner? I gathered enough resources to start heading to the deep purple vents, but I encountered my biggest fear, the squid snake. This can literally end the playthrough if it gets too close. I throw a flare to distract it and sneakily maneuver my way to the deep purple vents, but I later learned that squid snakes don't, in fact, fall for them.
Beware of high pressure and temperatures.
Immediately upon reaching the deep purple vents, I panicked. I only had 39 oxygen, and I still needed to construct my base and the nuclear reactor. But it was all just over-exaggeration because I had plenty of oxygen left once construction was complete. I could have built it somewhere better, but oh well. I constructed the essential base components and realized I didn't get enough materials for everything, so I can't make a battery charger. But it's not that big of a deal because ion batteries last quite a while. I went exploring around and found an alien artifact, then set up a beacon with the last chunk of copper I had named Deep Asphyxiated Vents. Get it? Deep purple vents? Deep asphyxiated vents? Because when you're asphyxiated, you turn purple. I made some very useless light sticks in case I needed to ward off any snakes. Then went back home and what do you know? I'm getting materials needed for another base. I get everything ready, then save and quit in case I need to Alt F4, you know? Then, it's time. This is do or Alt F4. If I fail, it's Alt F4. Oh, and by the way, I'm heading to the crystal caves. On the way, I see the squid snake. I thought it was programmed to not leave the purple vents, so I taunted it from afar. Haha, you can't catch me. I'm here and you're there. Wait, what are you doing? Oh god, help! 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 But, turns out it can leave the purple vents. I was tempted to go scan it, but decided otherwise because you know why. I went back home to craft some medkits, then journeyed to the
Derpity.
I went back home to craft some medkits, then journeyed to the purple vents. And then to the crystal caves. I was sticking to the right side of the cave and made sure I never lost sight of Leviathan because the last thing I want that thing sliming me from behind with its slimy chest. Then I ended up in a dead end, and with only 36 oxygen left, I had to abandon the old ways and eat a bladderfish life so I don't drown. I ate it and I was like, I might as well eat more. After a few close encounters, I decided to build my base in this tiny crevice because below me was this huge opening with a leviathan that was patrolling the area like it was getting paid more than minimum wage. I built the base, then entered to build the reactor.
Oxygen production of
Did you catch that? That terrible transition? What actually happened was, I went in, built the nuclear reactor, but the game glitched and wouldn't let me do anything. So I alt F4'd because that ain't fair, dying to a glitch. I abandoned the old ways, went into creative mode to go back to the same location safely. I placed the beacon and named the base accordingly, then it was time to return home. But 10 meters away from my base, the Leviathan spotted me. Tried to slide me, but this Morganite formation, yes, the crystals are called Morganite if you didn't know, saved my life. I fished some flatters, then made it to the tree spires, but I wanted to exit where I came from, when I could have just safely went home through the tree spires. I kept getting lost, but eventually made it to the vape. I kept getting lost, but eventually made it to the deep purple vents. Passed too close to the squid snake and reached my home safely. Not gonna lie, that trip kinda scarred me from going to the crystal caves. Without any vehicles, the crystal caves are 10 times scarier. This is why I hate late game. Out the story, I haven't seen the game's true horrors, and life simple, in your life pod, snacking on cooked boomers. Anyways, it's time for the final, not really, base. I got what I needed, then headed for the tree spires. And of course, there is a Leviathan there. There isn't just one, but two. I built the base, and since I'm never visiting this base again, I built a bioreactor. I went down and found Marguerite's trash, just laying there.
There I was.
Went deeper and found even more trash. She proceeds to berate me for finding her trash that's right next to my base. Maybe you shouldn't have built it so close to mine, I don't know. I was about to go home through the cave that Marguerite's base is in, but I thought, what's the fun in that? If you build a base, you should go back the way you came from. Sun Tzu. I made it back home safely, and now that I've built a base in the deep purple vents, the crystal caves, the tree spires, cherry blossom cave, shark infested water, glacial basin, arctic spire. Wait, no, I didn't build one there. Oh, come on, now I have to build one there. Whatever. I gathered the necessary materials to build the base. Then after crossing the bridge, Alan goes northeast, northeast, northeast. I built the base immediately upon reaching the main Arctic spires. I built an outdoor grow bed to grow some fevered peppers, then AFK'd for a little bit for them to grow. I returned back home and had this genius idea. I would get the materials needed, not for a base, for Alan's storage medium. So I can go scan the organs, then immediately hit for the block caves to make his body. In theory, this is a great plan. But first, I gotta get the stuff, you know? So I'm gonna make a quick segment where I get the materials so I don't bore you. I head for the purple vents for the spiral plants, which are used to make synthetic fibers. I cheat in some medkits, then journey across the vicious seas to grasp one of the finest, rarest plants. I made it there with 0 oxygen and began the search. Before long, I had it. The most prized plant in all of Subnautica Below Zero. The spiral plant. It resides in the most dangerous of biomes, of which are the deep purple vents and the tree spires, guarded by the
Glycerate.
The tree spires, guarded by 2 glycerates. You must navigate your way carefully. One slip, and you're gone. But it's all worth it at the end. A suit of greatest endurance. Which can withstand even the strongest of Leviathan. Wait, is a reinforced dive suit in Below Zero? Anyways, is this documentary done, or am I working unpaid overtime? I spotted the Chelly Searet on the way back, but it didn't attack me. Aw, how nice of it. Now, it was time for the polyaniline, found in the so-called large caves. Dwarfed by the size of the enormous lily pads, this biome hosts one of the most dangerous leviathan. Although not as dangerous as the Glycerate nor the Shadow Leviathan, it should not be ignored. Once it attacks the player, they only have a short time before they get swallowed whole by the beast. Oh yeah, and then Alan tells me there's something important here, and I should check it out, but his severe brain damage prevented him from remembering that I've already scanned it. I collected what I came for, the young cotton anemone, and I can't think of anything else to say. I entered the base to go craft the synthetic fibers, then went back home for the polyaniline because I didn't have the gold on hand to craft it. But it was time to go into Squid Shark waters. Because I forgot I had a gel sack farm above my house, and instead of actually getting the gel sacks, I abandoned the old ways. Then I got the root pustules. Wait, how is pustule supposed to be pronounced?
Pustule.
It's pustule? I should have known. I went home and crafted a plasteel ingot, then saved and quit in case something happened. I crafted a bunch of medkits, then set on my merry way. I reached the crystal caves unharmed, but the torment is just about to begin. I reached the base safely. The shadow leviathan began seeking before I was ready. I narrowly avoided it, then set on my journey once again to get things done. I found the organs, and something bit me. Ouch! It happened again! Oh, never mind, it's just me dying of thirst.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Oh, what's that? You want me? You can't kill me, you can't kill me. I'll just go around this road. Oh god, please, no! 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 Nah, I'm just kidding. What really happened is more cheesy and less cool. After booting up the game, I went around collecting bladders to chug later while running away from Big Lev. I wanted to make large filtered water with the vase plants I never used, so I used all I had to make water tablets and then set off to make snowballs. I tried getting some from nearby icebergs, but I wasn't getting any. Maybe you can't get snowballs on hardcore? The way it looks like I have to get water from filters. I thought of making a base near the block caves, but I need to carry the materials for Alan's body, as well as the base, water, and bladderfish. I didn't have enough space for all of that. I started doing my research and got this very ingenious idea to build a solar panel at the maximum depth of 224 meters, because you only need a sliver of power for oxygen production. And I can also build a corridor instead of a multi-purpose room to save on resources and inventory space. Then use power transmitters all the way to the block caverns, build a pit stop, and boom! But I was just missing one key factor. I'm a chicken. This was 4 days ago and I still haven't gotten around to completing it. If only I had a vehicle. I got an even better idea. I'll just go get the reinforced suit because it lowers damage taken by 50%. So instead of taking 75 damage for each bite, I'll take around 37, which increases the amount of bites before I have to heal. So on the way, I tried to just go straight to my base without looking around me and trying to avoid the snake, which worked. I only heard it scream once and it didn't attack me. If only I would do that in the crystal caves. I'm not gonna try to hide it. I looked up the coordinates for the reinforced dive suit, which is located in the wing of Mercury 2. After searching for a while, I find and scan it. I go make it, then head to the crystal caves. On the way, I tried the same strategy and it didn't attack me. I didn't even see it. I guess that's how I'm gonna make it to the fabricator caverns. I reach the purple vents, get some water, then head to the other base. While approaching it, the Kraken saw me and was chasing me. I wanted to see if it would catch up to me since I had the reinforced dive suit, and it didn't. I didn't know it was blind. Well, its mouth is on the bottom, so that explains why it didn't bite me.
Because a stingray's eyes are on top of its head and its mouth and nostrils below, it can't actually see what it's eating.
I reached the base and made a window so I could go Kraken watching. I decided I would just YOLO it and just go for it, and I made it there unharmed and scanned the organs. Then saved and quit because Alt F4. For the trip to the fabricator caverns, I thought that lowering the volume and also playing a video at the same time would make it less scary, because if I can't hear it, it can't hear me. After traveling for quite a while, I got suspicious that I haven't seen a cracker. I got suspicious that I haven't seen a Kraken this whole time. It's almost as if they were planning a surprise attack, but nope, I just needed to go deeper. Knowing I had the reinforced suit, I approached the Kraken and just let it bite me. I even tried to scan it, but came to my senses and just continued on to make Alan. So it is true that if you don't show fear, they won't attack. I should have known. With a close encounter, I finally found the facility. I took the materials from the enter chest, which fit all the materials perfectly. It's almost as if it were made for it. I went in, and the rest is history.
So Alan, you said your people came here in search of a cure?
So,
This is the last piece. Soon I will be autonomous again.
Commencing exploration using third location.
What are you doing?
research. Tit for tat. You've probed my mind. I scan your body.
Commencing data transfer.
Did it work? Are we...
It has been some time since I last stretched out in so many dimensions. When the bacteria escaped, it was my fault. Do you still wish to leave with me? Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
You've been hiding a phase gate here this whole time.
Only for the last millennium. It was imperative to keep the homeworld safe, in hopes that the others survived. Will you help me prepare the ship? The energy masts must be moved into place.
Is this permanent?
Nothing is permanent. Are you ready to go? Please brace yourself and then we will depart. Launching in 3, 2, 1.
And if they survived?
With you, I am ready to face whatever awaits.
So yeah, this is gonna be the end of the video as well as the series. 11.5 hours in, this is probably the most effort I put into a video. If only I put in as much effort into school as I did in this video. This is actually the first time I proofread a script and wrote it with correct grammar. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Any new subscribers with their subscriptions public will be shouted out in the next video. Because with subscriptions private, I can't see who subscribed. The number just goes up. And also, who wouldn't wanna shout out from a channel with 83 subscribers? There'll be another video like this, hopefully coming out soon. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed this video.